And joining us live now for her reaction to Premier Doug Ford's announcements is Ontario NDP Leader Marit Stiles. Marit, thank you for your time this afternoon. So we'll begin with this morning's announcement, with this carbon tax announcement. And what is your take on this, considering that there are so many things that I'm sure Premier Ford could be discussing?
Yeah.
And today the focus was on carbon tax.
Well, yeah, first of all, I mean, clearly this is an attempt by the government to distract from some more bad news for the government again yesterday when the Bill 124 decision came down, and you know they've been caught up in so many scandals. This is just the latest. So I think this is an attempt to distract, and that's unfortunate. And I think it's also pretty rich of the government to be saying they're going to consult and it'd have to be a referendum on a carbon tax increase and things like that, when it's a government really that's never actually consulted much with the public at all. And the other thing I would add is that this actually exists already in legislation. There's a law in place that requires governments to have referendums on tax increases, and the government chooses not to do that. So I think this is, again, an attempt to distract, and it's unfortunate because the truth is that Ontarians are really struggling with some really big issues like the cost of housing, like the state of health care, and this government should be focused on delivering better for the people of the province.
You mentioned Bill 124, which of course came down yesterday, and so moving forward with their decision to not appeal, or repeal, I should say, excuse me. And so what do you make of this decision from Premier Ford to essentially not fight this?
Well, about time is what I would say, about time. This government has been fighting now for almost 5 years to suppress the wages of working people, to fight to keep wages down for nurses in the middle of the COVID pandemic. And we are all paying the price for that already, because we've seen nurses, education workers, others leave our schools, leave the healthcare system. We're dealing with that crisis. We're seeing it unfold with emergency room closures, right? So we're paying the price for this already. And the government also wasted millions of dollars, countless hours fighting this in court when it was clearly already unconstitutional. So I'm glad the government's not going to pursue it anymore, but boy, we shouldn't have been put in this position at all.
What do you make of the fact that it seems as if when Premier Doug Ford gets in front of a microphone, he somehow always manages to bring up Miss Bonnie Crombie, the Liberal leader? And, there has been people who may say that he's intimidated by her, and perhaps less intimidated by you, because he seems to be putting a lot of focus and attention on Crombie. What do you make of that?
Well, I think that, look, the government's decided they want to define the Liberal leader in a certain way. And I think they can both go ahead and do that to each other, fight it out, I look at it as an opportunity. We are holding this government to account every day in the legislature. The House is coming back next week. I'll be once again holding the government to account, and also focused on the issues that people really care about. So I'm not interested in that kind of politics. I want to be focusing on coming up with real solutions to the issues and the problems that people are struggling with. So for me, this is an opportunity to be a positive voice of hope and optimism, and maybe actually deliver something for the people of Ontario.
Speaking of next week, what do you think folks out there should be looking forward to?
Yeah, well, we're going to be really laser focused on delivering those solutions for people. So especially on issues like housing and affordability, and of course the crisis in healthcare. You can also expect we're going to be asking the questions to the government about big issues that have come up, like their subsidization of Staples and the move of the Service Ontario locations to Staples, things like that. And of course, this is a government that is still under criminal investigation by the RCMP over the Greenbelt land deal. So we'll be continuing to raise issues, but more than anything, we're going to be putting forward some smart solutions, I think, that will hopefully deliver results for people.
Okay, we will leave it there. NDP Leader Marit Stiles, thank you for your time.
Thank you.